Hello everyone, it's time for another week of the Hawkeye Sports Report. Homecoming week is upon us, the Black and Gold Spirit game is upon us, and Rob Brooks is upon us once again in the studio to break down some Iowa football. Rob, a big-time win up at Minnesota, and all three phases of Iowa's game was working again.
Hey, the fans had to like what they saw at TCF Bank Stadium, and bringing Floyd back to Iowa City, that was a key. But you're exactly right. The fact the offense did its job, the defense continues to improve every single week. Maybe shore up a couple of things as far as special teams, but all in all, it turns into a victory. And you really look at the big plays. We've talked about that on this show week after week. The fact that somebody seems to emerge and make a play every single week. Tanner Miller, he's made a couple. How about James Morris, a big-time interception? He was honored as the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. Christian Kirksey with another pick. He just pulled that right off the turf. Big-time play. Then you look at Damon Powell. How about the job that he has done in really limited action, averaging 51.5 yards per reception. You talk about a big play guy. We'll see if we see more of him going forward. Then you throw in the likes of Hillier. He makes a big play. Cavante Martin-Manley, he has been the go-to guy on third down. And one of the things that really impressed me about the Hawkeyes' play on offense last weekend, couple situations, tough situations, third and long, Jake Rudock able to find Cavante Martin-Manley to keep those chains moving. That did not happen last year.
Jake Rudock showed some pretty good poise here early on. I mean, we've talked about that numerous times, but he's one that can throw it and he can run it.
Well, he'll be the first to tell you that he is not a dual threat quarterback, but I'll tell you, inside the red zone and especially inside the 10-yard line, already has ran for 5 touchdowns, thrown for 6. But one area that I think Kirk Ferentz would like to see improved, and that is a red zone offense. 70% of the time, Iowa scores points in the red zone. 48% of the time, they get 6 points out of it. And I think as the schedule gets tougher, those numbers will likely have to improve.
You touched on the red zone offense there. How about Iowa's red zone defense? That's been pretty dang good.
Well, I'm going to throw some numbers at you, so pay attention. You look at red zone defense, touchdown percentage. Last year, opponents in the red zone scored touchdowns 52% of the time. So far this year, 16.6. Huge improvement. Third down defensive improvement. That is the opposition converting. Last year, 43.4% of the time. This year, just 25.3%. So the Hawkeye defense doing the job on third downs, getting off the field, allowing for more possessions for that offensive unit.
Talked about the defense right there. Let's stick with the defense. Iowa's defense and Michigan State. They're the top 2 defenses in the Big Ten. How do you see this matchup shaking out with those two going up against each other?
Well, Michigan State, number 1 in the country in total defense, as well as some other categories. They've also scored 4 defensive touchdowns. This is a stout unit. It is year in and year out, but probably for Mark D'Antonio, his best defensive unit so far. And Iowa will certainly have its hands full offensively to try to run the football, but this has become a balanced team, running the ball, throwing the ball. But when you look at Michigan State, they've had just a heck of a time putting points on the board. I've talked to some people up in East Lansing, and they're really trying to figure out this offense, especially throwing the football. Connor Cook has been the quarterback for most of the year. He's the sophomore. They're really high on him. He's thrown for over 400 yards. Andrew Maxwell has thrown for 114. He's played a little bit, but right now is the backup. But late in the Notre Dame game, they kind of called upon Maxwell, the senior, to see if he could engineer a drive late. Didn't do it, and I think that upset the starter, Connor Cook. So there's been some talk in East Lansing and also Detroit about potentially a little quarterback controversy.
Hear about that. You can be thankful for a guy like Jake Rudock that we have under center. Iowa's offense, Mark Weissman has been the mainstay. He's been over 100 yards numerous times this year. If he's not able to get his 100 yards, 150 yards this weekend, who's Iowa's X factor on offense?
Well, I think Damon Bullock has been a good change of pace guy. He's good at catching the ball out of the backfield. But I kind of look to, Rudock's legs. He's shown that he can pick up first downs and move the chains. And then does Powell see some more action? That big threat from the outside. Hillier, Smith continue to improve. But Cavante Martin-Manley, he's been the go-to guy. He's the guy that I see getting open when the Hawkeyes need a play. And that's important to move the chains, because I think it's going to be very difficult for the Hawkeyes to get big plays against this defense. It'll take long drives down the field.
Well, let's hope Iowa can give this homecoming crowd something to cheer for on Saturday and move to 2-0 in the conference here.
Well, that is the plan heading into a bye week. You love to get that victory. And how about this? The Hawkeyes in the whole month of September never trailed.
That's unbelievable. So let's hope October can be just as kind to the Hawks.
That's right.
Rob, thanks a lot for stopping by, and we will see you at the game on Saturday.
Look forward to it.
Reminder, it is the Black and Gold Spirit game. Make sure to check on if you should be wearing black or gold in your section. The game will kick off at 11 and be shown on ESPN2. We'll be right back with more Hawkeye Sports Report after this.
Hey Hawkeye fans, don't miss the action on MediaCom Court at Carver Hawkeye Arena this fall with an exciting season of Iowa Hawkeye Volleyball. For only $30, you get 2 season tickets, 2 Iowa Volleyball t-shirts, weekly emails, and much more. Seniors Nikki Daly, Rachel Vidal, and Bethany Yeager want to see you at Carver Hawkeye Arena this season. To order, call 1-800-IA-HAWKS or visit HawkeyeSports.com. We'll see you at Carver Hawkeye Arena this fall. Go Hawks!
We're back on the Hawkeye Sports Report, a world record-setting Hawkeye Sports Report. The Iowa swimming and diving team started the season Friday at Michigan, where both the men and women lost duels against the Wolverines. The Michigan men are the defending national champions. Iowa participated in the Michigan Water Carnival. That's where Iowa set a world record in the 200-meter short course mixed medley relay. The new record time is 1 minute 47.61 seconds, set by Hawkeyes Dustin Rhodes, Andrew Marciniak, Haley Gordon, and Olivia Kabasinski. The previous record time was set by the Indiana Hoosiers earlier in the week. All records are unofficial until ratified by FINA, the Swimming and Diving International Governing Body. Iowa Volleyball is in the midst of a busy stretch in their season. The Hawkeyes dropped Big Ten matches at 24th-ranked Illinois and Northwestern, both by 3-0 scores. Wednesday, the Hawkeyes hosted 23rd-ranked Wisconsin, where it was the annual Pink Game for breast cancer awareness.
just didn't feel like we competed at a level last weekend playing Illinois Northwestern, that we needed to. And I felt like tonight we competed hard enough to win. Obviously we didn't maybe execute at different parts of the game at certain times well enough to win, but I love how we competed. We let them make runs, but then we found a way to score a couple points and get a little momentum back. And all in all, I'm pleased, but there's certainly no satisfaction because we still lost.
This just showed us that we're improving each week, but we just want to improve a little bit faster, and that just comes from working a little bit harder in practice.
As a team, our blocking was really well, definitely during that first set. We caused the Badgers to tip a lot more, and then our defense adjusted to that. So I think overall we did a good job adjusting when we needed to during the game, but we just didn't make that final push.
The ranked teams keep coming as Iowa hosts number 8 Minnesota this Saturday at Carver Hawkeye Arena at 7 p.m. The Iowa soccer team spent the weekend in Illinois. In Champaign Friday, a Katie Nazenbenny goal 21 minutes into the game was all Iowa could muster in a 2-1 loss. The Fighting Illini outshot Iowa 17-11. On Sunday, the Hawkeyes took on Northwestern, where an Ashley Cottrell penalty kick guided Iowa to a 1-0 win. Iowa is now 9-2 on the season. It's Hawks at Huskers Thursday for a 4 p.m. kick in Nebraska. Then it will be Michigan State in Iowa City Sunday for a 1 o'clock start. On to field hockey, a number 12, number 14 matchup Friday near the lake in Evanston. Iowa trailing Northwestern 2-0 in the second half. Natalie Cafone cuts the lead in half. Danny Hemion with the assist on that one. 10 minutes later, we are all tied up when Hemion scores. Nikki Schulteis assists. Then just a minute later, Cafone scores again, putting the Hawks up 3-2. However, Northwestern rallies to tie it after pulling its goalkeeper. Dominique Master scores and we go to overtime. In overtime, Isabel Flens wins it, and Iowa drops a heartbreaker 4-3. Iowa is at Michigan Saturday for a noon matchup before hosting Missouri State on a rare Monday date at 3 p.m. One of the top Hawkeyes is senior Belgium native Marika Strybos. Let's hear more about her journey in finding the Hawkeyes, as she is one of 24 Hawks to watch this year.
Basically, I started playing when I was 4 years old, so pretty young. And I played field hockey because my mom played when she was, in college. She didn't play over here, but at home. And she thought it was important for us to play a team sport. So that's why she chose field hockey. I always wanted to combine field hockey in school, and at home that's not possible. So you kind of have to choose between one or the other. So then when I got older, and we had a family friend, Carrie DeFries, who played for Iowa, so she kind of explained to me how the system worked in the U.S., so I got really interested, and now I'm here.
Yeah, we kind of heard about her, and it was really through email at first, and then we saw some video and thought it was worth our while to, travel to Brussels and, ride a diesel Volkswagen through downtown Brussels to go try to watch her play. But yeah, as soon as we saw her video, we thought obviously she's of the level that we wanted, and then we saw her in person and got a chance to talk to her and meet her parents and all of that, and there was never a doubt in our mind. And each step that we progressed through the recruiting process, it was validated, more and more.
I actually was not really nervous. I was really excited because I love field hockey so much, and the coaches came over to Belgium, so I met the coaches, and then I met one of my classmates, Nikki. She's from Germany, so I saw her before. So I kind of knew a couple of people, but I was more excited than nervous. So, and then when I came here, we started preseason right away, so I didn't really have to think about if I liked it or not, because we were busy and going at it, so.
She just has the whole package. She's an amazing student, but the thing that we really enjoy the most about Marika is she's just an awesome person. She's reliable, she's really super consistent, and obviously when you're talking about Hawkeyes to watch, she has to have some talent, and she certainly does have that, and she's been a mainstay in our midfield for 4 years, so it was a pretty easy pick for me. But in the other sense, there's, we have a lot of good athletes on our team, but when I really thought about Marika, she definitely deserved it.
I think I'm definitely stronger on the field, and I think weightlifting helped a lot with that because we don't really do that at home. And just more understanding of the game and being more experienced, I'm able to help the younger players right now, and so I think that's one of my strengths on the field. I think besides like having a great family here of friends and the coaches, obviously, it teaches you a lot about life too, besides just the sport. And I think after the 4 years, it changes you in a good way, and you're stronger as a person, and I think it makes you like ready for what's next.
A personal record led the Iowa cross-country teams at the Roy Griak Invitational in Minneapolis over the weekend. Junior Kevin Lewis set an 8,000-meter personal best in just under 25 minutes. He finished 30th. In team scoring, the men finished 15th, the women 21st. The women return to action October 19th in Wisconsin. The men are in the state of Indiana October 20th. The Iowa rowing team began its season at the head of the Des Moines on Saturday. Iowa took first, second, and third in the women's collegiate eights. The Hawkeyes top boat moved through the 4,500-meter course in a time of 16 minutes, 32.10 seconds. An Iowa boat also took home first in the women's collegiate fours. And pending water levels, the Hawks returned to action for a scrimmage with Indiana on the Iowa River Saturday, October 12th. Iowa is scheduled to host the head of the Iowa on Sunday, October 27th. Again, that'll all depend on the water levels in the Iowa River. The women's golf team, as well as the men's and women's tennis teams, were all on the road in the last week. Visit HawkeyeSports.com for complete results. Let's talk a little fall ball for the spring sports. The Iowa softball team hosted the All-Iowa Classic this weekend. The Hawks finished the weekend 2-2. Saturday, Coach Luper's squad defeated Drake 2-1 and rallied past Iowa State 5-4. Sunday, Iowa lost to Northern Iowa 8-0 and Upper Iowa 5-3. The Hawkeyes are scheduled to return to the softball field Friday for a 6:30 contest against Marshalltown Community College. The baseball team hosted Iowa Central Community College Wednesday and hosts DMAC next Wednesday, October 9th at 3:30. When we return, basketball season is just around the corner. We catch up with legendary ESPN analyst Dick Vitale to hear what Dickie V has to say about the Hawks. Keep it right here on the Hawkeye Sports Report. We're back, and as we wrap up another Hawkeye Sports Report, how about some basketball? The Iowa women started basketball practice on Monday. The men's squad began practice Saturday. Dick Vitale was in Riverside, Iowa for a charitable event earlier this year, and to put it simply, he is high on the Hawkeyes.
I just put a tweet up. I said a dark horse team to keep your eyes on next year will be the Iowa Hawkeyes. Why? They won 25 games. They went to the finals of the NIT, lost a lot of heartbreakers last year. Michigan State lost a tough double overtime to Wisconsin, Purdue. Bottom line is veterans returning. Marble, White, the kid Gasol in the backcourt. Woodbury, I think, is going to be a lot better in his second year. Should be a big time at Carvel Hawkeye Arena. Well, he's a great communicator. He has great feel for people, and he understands the game. He really has a great, unbelievable understanding of strengths and weaknesses of players, and he's doing a solid job here. Fourth year now. I think anything less, though, than getting in the NCAA tournament would be a disappointment. I think that's got to be their goal. And number one, and number two, it's definitely one that can be real. Well, we're here to raise dollars for the V Foundation for Cancer Research, which means so much to me. Anybody in Iowa would like to help us, just go to my website, dickvitaleonline.com. Had a lot of fun last night. Was with Fran McCaffrey, his wife. We had a terrific time, and it was a great, great night. Raised some money, and most of all, we're trying to battle cancer, which affects so many people, whether one is rich, poor, black, white. It can bring you to your knees, and we must unite. So please go to dickvitaleonline.com and help us. The money goes to the V Foundation for Cancer Research.
A few notable dates to put on your October calendar in the basketball world. Wednesday, October 9th, it's Men's Basketball Media Day. Thursday, October 24th, is Women's Basketball Media Day. And Friday, October 25th, is the 2013 Black and Gold Blowout featuring both basketball teams. The event starts at 8 p.m. and tickets are available for $5 at HawkeyeSports.com. One wrestling note, congratulations to former Hawkeye wrestler Pete Bush. He will be inducted into the Glenn Brand Wrestling Hall of Fame of Iowa. The 1982 190-pound national champion also won 3 Big Ten titles and is the head coach at Davenport Assumption High School. Be sure to visit HawkeyeSports.com this weekend for football, soccer, and volleyball highlights. I'm Nick Dorman. Thanks for watching another edition of the Hawkeye Sports Report.